As a San Francisco entrepreneur is speaking out after being the victim of a violent assault. He said he's sharing his story to remind people to stay alert, even in familiar surroundings. Betty Yu is here in the studio with that story. So, Betty, I know you talked to the victim after he got out of the hospital.
That's right. Richard Titus says right now he has 5 staples in the back of his head, and he's looking at least several weeks of recovery. He said he hopes that more people speak up about these kinds of crimes so that demand for a better quality of life in San Francisco will be heard by public officials.
Richard Titus, an entrepreneur and longtime San Francisco resident, showed us his head injury from a violent assault Sunday night in Lower Pack Heights. He said he had just parked his car and took a short walk to a friend's home around 9:30. He believes the suspects were after his rare Rolex Daytona.
I heard some footsteps behind me, and then suddenly, bam, I got hit in the back of the head with something metal. I went down on all fours. When I got up, I turned around. There were 2 assailants. One holding a bar and one not. The one not holding something was closer to me, so I took a swing at him.
Titus said the suspects then ran away. He was left with what turned out to be a severe concussion and fragmented memories around the event.
I'm 6'2". I didn't actually realize how bad the injury was. And standing on a street corner in the cold, when my head was hurting, I was bleeding, I just wanted to get home and bandage my head.
Titus shared photos of the blood from his injuries. It was the next day, on Halloween, that he went to the hospital to get checked out. It was there that staff members called police to take a report. But no one showed up during his 10-hour stay. He was later told to go to the station and complete it.
Very disappointed. I mean, I was just very happy with the response today. I was disappointed they didn't come for the police report.
Titus believes a police officer eventually visited him to finish the report on Tuesday after he received social media attention.
I always felt safe in San Francisco, even in the dangerous years. Even before this experience, it feels more menacing, and the police response seems slower.
He's sharing his story to make sure people are more careful in their surroundings.
I'd like to see some action from law enforcement and the city. I think that there needs to be a tighter relationship between the mayor's office and the enforcement. And the third thing is I'd like criminals to be held to account.
He described the suspects as being around 5 feet tall, wearing hoodies, and one had a baseball cap. Officers also took note of buildings that may have surveillance video today. Sarah?
Pretty disturbing. First of all, that injury looked kind of gruesome. So what was he out doing when all of this happened?
Well, he said he was at a late brunch with friends, and then he went to pick up his Tesla, which was charging, and then he parked the Tesla near where he was staying, and then the attack happened shortly after that. He also wanted to mention that he was sober during this entire incident. In fact, he's been sober for the last 30 years.